so subtle. Woo! That is texture. BTS essentially got the party started with the reactions on this channel. It started off as a little experiment, but then I was like, oh, wait a minute, they're actually good. One thing I've always liked about BTS is the versatility. They could do so many different genres, so you never know what you're gonna get. But today we're checking out JK's song, Stay Alive, produced by Suga, and we're gonna look at it from a music production perspective. Does that sound good? Great. If you don't know, my name is Joey Nato. I'm actually a rapper, music producer, a YouTuber as well. I'll put a link in the description for my own music, but now it's time to stay alive. Well, it's always time to stay alive. Do your best at that. Lucky Squad, never give up. Let's get into it. One more thing, if you got headphones near you, put them on and maybe you'll hear the details that I'm gonna point out. You'll definitely get the best experience with headphones on. Woo! You hear that trumpet? I'm just kidding, it's a guitar. I thought it'd be funny. It's good advice. Woo! Oh, it just got big here. Okay. I'm gonna explain. Hold on. Alright, I don't want to get too far. Alright, because there's too much to unravel here. So let's start with the beginning. You got the guitar in the beginning that's doing that R&B. Very simple progression. While the guitar is doing that, you have the falsetto vocal enter in, and that's how you know it's Jungkook. It just has that like breathy, smooth texture to it. But one thing that I definitely noticed at the beginning that made it sound big and wide was there was a high string. Listen. It's very discreet, but it's on the side here, and it's like, there's a high string. But then when the other strings come in that are, you know, in like the mid octave and start doing the chords and everything, it's panned to the right side of the headphones. And then in the middle. And then there's that, I love how they have that bend there. And then the drums are just pretty simple. There's not much going on with the drums. They got like a little wooden block taking place of the snare. And it's like a stomp, like almost like a modified actual like big bass drum that they're using for the kick. So everything sounds good. He starts off in the midtones, gets into the falsetto more in the verse, so that way it like amps up the energy a little bit. Mid or the middle octaves. Ooh. Nice chords. The reverse cymbal came in there. These short staccato strings. Ooh, rise effect. Oh, that's a fire melody. I need to hear the hook again, but one thing I definitely was hearing was some kind of distortion, and I think it was electric guitars that were in the back there that was just giving it a lot more life, especially the second part of the hook. You hear it? And then the snare drums were strong there, so that's a big technique that's used a lot. The verse will have a lot softer, subtle drums. It's just even like the sound choices that they use. But then when the hook comes in, it's strong, it's powerful. It just gives it more energy when it does that. Ooh, little kick to the snare. It's like boom, 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 boom. Ooh, ah. With the EQ. Alright, we're not slowing down. These strings are so dramatic. Oh, that harmony. It was like, it was like, oh, so subtle. Woo! That is texture. You can hear the strings now. That was the staccato strings I was mentioning in the first verse. The bass line. It's like, so much movement, but such a slow tempo. These are really expressive vocals too from JK, so I'm feeling this. Interesting. That transition sound was, I'm sorry, bro. There's too much. This is how it is with BTS joints, yo. There's too much to unpack. So this transition sound, right? That's going into the hook before the hook drops. It's like, but listen, the first time they chop it, they go, but the second time they don't chop it. It's just one smooth motion. And let me see if I can find it. There it is. It's like, but this time, I think it was one smooth motion that time. But it's all about building up to this big hook. Oh! The ad-lib? That's a vibe. Definitely that R&B vibe. Can't believe I could call it old school now, but it's almost like old school R&B from like the early 2000s, sort of with this type of influence to it. And you hear that guitar in the beginning, it comes right back in at the end. It's just all the other elements were just tied into it, especially in the hook. That's where they like brought in electric guitar, an electric bass, those staccato strings I was talking about, the legato strings that were playing like those long sustained chords, the other electric guitar that's doing this. All that is during the hook, and it's crazy that all these layers together is what really brings out the energy. But of course, JK is singing more dynamically and more out in the hook than he is on the verses. You know what I mean? This is a hell of a duo here. They did good. I don't put anything past them. I mean, JK is just gonna get better at singing. Suga is just gonna get better at producing. So I mean, what'd you expect? All right, that's pretty much it. Appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you in the next one.
Just got back from South Beach, 4 windows down for the loud breeze, and a Maserati at a wild speed. Had my image chicks like wowee. Baddie wanna dab it out, turn the inside out like a rally cap. You can scream all you want, we don't have to chat, but before you say ciao, better chow me. I just got back from a show in the violence, had to make a motherfucker see the back of his eyelids, cause he tried to be hard until it's 15 minutes.